United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for those who come out on this nice cold evening. All right, we'll start with a few housekeeping items. Let's see. Could we have a motion to approve the receipt of the October 2025 Treasurer's Report?
I'll make a motion that,
Go right ahead, Steve.
I make a motion we receive the October 2025 Treasurers Report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And could we also do November 2025 check register, please?
I'll make a motion we receive the November 2025 check register.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Couple quick things. I want to go over, the yard waste pickup will end on December 17th, just so be aware of that. The McCurley Magical Christmas Lights come on at 5 p.m. and end at 11 p.m., open all week through December. The donations go to Manchester Volunteer Fire Department, so that's great. Anybody who's gone there, it's quite a neat little thing if you can go check that out. Our office will be closed, Town Hall will be closed December 24th and 25th and January 1st. We will be closing early on December 23rd for our holiday luncheon. Water bills will be mailed by January 1st and due January 30th. Christmas tree collection, I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves. We haven't had Christmas yet, but I guess I have to say it. So Christmas tree collection is on Wednesday, January 7th and January 14th. Please remove all your decorations from the tree, including the tree stand. We had a couple people that just throw the whole thing out in the yard and just say, but we can't do that. And special thanks to Wayne Thomas of Thomas Tree Farm for donating the tree at the Historical Center that the kids decorate. And Jen, thank you very much for making sure that was taken care of and decorated. That was very nice. With the freezing temperature, all town streets are snow emergency routes, and when the snow emergency plan is in effect, parking is prohibited and violators will be fined. Police have been very nice in the past and usually try to warn everybody, but that can't always happen. So, reminder from the Department of Public Works, disconnect your garden hose before it gets any colder. Otherwise, you run the risk of pipes freezing and burst since they expand when it freezes. Just a reminder that all basketball nets that are in the street or hanging into the street must be moved when Hughes is collecting trash or during snow removal. The town will not be responsible for the damages. And when we had the the windstorm last month, somebody in my neighborhood was out in the middle of the street. So please take care of that so we don't have any problems. And also, if you have a fire hydrant in front of your house, please, please, please try to keep that shoveled out. So if there is a fire, that the fire department can get to it. Also, special thanks to Danielle Owens, who works here, and our staff. She has her 5-year service to the town had it on December 7th, so she's a wonderful asset. And the Manchester Fire Department held a gingerbread house contest for anybody that came up on Black Friday or went up to the fire department, and we came in 3rd place. And I thought ours was the best, but there were some others that were good, so it's back there on display. And that's really all I have right this minute. I'll have a few other things, I'm sure, as I think of them towards the end. Oh, I do have a few things. The Black Friday, the Santa stroll that we had, I want to say thank you to everybody who helped, who came out. The police for their help, the fire department for their help, and then bringing Santa Claus and everything. It was a success, and it was really nice. So thank you to everybody who came out and helped. Okay. Town Administrator's report.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. Town Administrator's report. Our Christmas tree park lighting of Seafield, that project is completed. The new poles are up and they're wired. I have not seen them on yet, but I was told they do illuminate. I'm still waiting for an email from Musco to finalize the project, but the physical work is completed. On the wastewater treatment plant E&R upgrade, CDM Smith sent a large document to MDE answering most of their questions and concerns. Matt Marshall with MDE and staff are reviewing that. And he has no comments back as of yet, but as soon as he does, we'll be able to proceed with the design. Also, CDM Smith would like to present to the council. They were going to do it this month, but we still don't have answers we need. So they are penciled in for maybe next month, depending on how things go.
If we have the responses from MDE, correct?
Yeah, if we have some clear answers and we're able to keep proceeding. On the water side, the PFAS project, the project has shifted a little bit. Our Capital Improvements Committee decided and voted on that we should place the treatment at Manchester Valley due to the numerous benefits that it presents. So the design engineer is working on that. We also met with MDE on that project, and they seem to be in favor of that also. On the Manchester East Stormwater Facility, which is down off Monroe, behind the wastewater treatment plant, the county has been working on that project for a long time. I think they finally got the property acquired, or they're in the process of acquiring the property. So a site meeting was held there on November 19th with the county, state, Corps of Engineers, and the town officials to discuss the project. While they are doing the project, I'm also trying to get them to incorporate upgrading and replacing the stormwater inlets and culvert pipes on Long Lane that have, we don't have an age on them, but we're figuring at least 50 or 60 years old, and they are undersized for the amount of water that's currently it's collecting. Main Street trees and sidewalks. I do have a little bit of news on that. We had a contractor remove the 3 dead trees on Main Street a couple weeks ago. Had a meeting here at Town Hall with DNR officials from the forestry. They were not necessarily in favor of removing the trees where the sidewalks are damaged to replace. They wanted to investigate if we could just cut the roots and treat the roots and replace the sidewalks. It's kind of a bit of a coordination challenge to take the sidewalk out, see what the roots look like, and then determine if the tree has to come down. So we've got a site walk scheduled for next week. I'm hoping that when we walk it, they can give some clear definition of trees that we would have to take down so that we could get them removed, get the sidewalks repaired or replaced. So I will have more on that next month. On the crosswalk project, I emailed Andrew from State Highway beginning of this week. He's supposed to get back to me with some dates and times to come up and look at that and go over what the 2 options are. And I have not heard back from him yet. On the Watershed Action Grant, which is down at the old skate park, Westside Memorial Park, the action plan's been drafted and is under review. Waiting for EPA to review it and sign off on it, which ties into number 8, Patapsco Valley Trout. They have requested town support on a project they would like to do, which includes cleaning up the spring boxes down there, replacing possible broken pipes, installing a manhole to drop the water elevation where it needs to be. So in the packet, you will find a letter of support that's been drafted for them. They are looking to apply for grants and private funding to do the repair work. We also might have a part in it offering some labor and equipment assistance, but their request is to basically grant them access to develop a plan and do some investigating. So at the end of this, if there's time and you guys have read through that, I'd like to see if there's any objection to that letter. The Hometown Heroes, hopefully to kick this off in the spring. I just got notified today that the grant we applied for with the Civil War Heritage area, unfortunately, we were declined. They had over $55,000 worth of requests for $25,000 worth of grants. So maybe next year we can put in for something related to that. And I guess the final thing on the administrative report is Verizon has approached the town wanting to add antennas. They were originally looking at York Street Tank, but there's not enough room with the 2 carriers that are currently up there. They pitched the idea of putting an antenna in the park with 2 different options there. So I guess before we go to the options, if there's any consensus or discussion from the council about that possibility.
I think they should give us our options of what they're thinking, number one, and also income
Okay.
is a big part of that, so. Yeah.
Okay,
I'd like to
so-
see their drawings and then also what they're offering to put them there. to see if
Okay,
it's
so
working
there are
for
two
us.
options that they proposed, is the first is using the light pole, one light pole. They would be responsible for replacing the light pole, upsizing the light pole to hold the antenna equipment, replacing the lights back where they came from, and then they would be responsible for doing all that construction, installation work. The second proposal that they pitched was a separate tower site, basically, on roughly a 50 by 50 area, and they would be responsible for all the permitting, the construction, and then the management of it. So that's the two ideas they pitched. Didn't really go into rates. They put a number there, but I thought it was kind of low for what was there. But basically, before we got to the rate discussion, if the council was dead set against the idea, I wasn't going to pursue it any farther.
I mean,
But
I'd
if
like
there is some interest, I will follow up with some more details.
I mean, I'd like to see drawings. It doesn't cost us anything for that, and then also renegotiating, if we even could decide on that.
Matt, are they talking about utilizing one of the light poles down here on the field?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Was any thought given to the spray field area?
Did not pitch that. I mean, it surely could be an idea of a location.
Yeah. Elevation
Mhm.
is basically the same. I mean, but that way we wouldn't be, it wouldn't be obtrusive to the park in any way, and it would be out of the way, and yeah.
Okay, I can reach out to them and see if that.
What's just
Yeah.
better service? Is that what they want?
Yeah, basically more coverage, better service.
Is there anything up the hill, all the way up there, like near Princess Court?
We didn't really get into too many details.
That's the highest elevation. I mean, I don't
we,
know much about service, but I'm just saying that's the highest elevation.
Yeah, and I think they
Figure
were
it will
looking at
reach,
that
like-
tank based on maybe pre-existing infrastructure and stuff like that. And then when they found out they couldn't do it, they pitched the park. I don't know if it's because they want to be near that physical site or if there's other factors that they have.
Maybe the service
but-
up there that way is a little spotty, and that's what they're, okay.
But I can definitely, if there is interest from the council, I can definitely reach out and see if there's other locations in town that would be suitable for them and what some preliminary design would look like.
Yeah.
What we're talking, so, okay. I will do that.
Matt, before you move on, quick question.
Yep.
The trees and the sidewalks.
Mhm.
You said they would like us to potentially lift the sidewalks up,
Mhm.
cut the roots, and then relay the sidewalks. I'm just curious how that's not gonna kill the trees.
Yeah,
And like, and to
Mm.
piggyback, have we tried offering, let us take this tree down
Mm-hmm.
that's destroying our sidewalk and we'll plant 4 or 5 somewhere
Yes.
else?
we did.
tried everything.
So actually, their idea was to check the roots, basically tilt the sidewalk up and look at the roots, and then put the sidewalk back down, or tear the sidewalk out, look at the roots, and then put like millings or some other
Oh, that-
aggregate in there for the time being.
So how did you keep a straight face during this meeting? Like, I've never heard of trimming the roots on anything, either you take the tree out or you,
So we put
But
a new
I'm-
sidewalk back down, and then the roots grow again, and then we're
It's
back
just,
to where we
we're
were.
in a cycle. It's
Right.
not, that's
So
not gonna
so they
fix
did
it.
feel
say,
bad for
they
you,
did
like,
say
having
use
to
a
hear
sulfur
that.
treatment, which I guess is to keep the roots from growing in the direction of the sidewalk. We did say that, there are trees that are planted there currently that do not really belong where they're planted. It's not the space for a tree. And we offered to replant the tree somewhere else, i.e. Nature Center Park. They preferred it to stay on the street that it was on.
Well-
They want the tree canopy along the streets.
We prefer
That's-
not to agree, so we'll see what happens.
I know.
We're into this, yeah, it's a hazard for pedestrians walking.
It is. And
They're growing into the electric lines, they're growing towards some of the houses.
They're gonna hit our lines, our pipes and our.
Their
things
MOU
underneath.
states that they're not responsible for anything, the one that was written before. We've already had that looked at.
yeah, so
But
I
it's
did
right.
tell them that basically any ADA issues like that would take precedence over their trees. So,
I don't agree with any of that, so.
It just
So-
doesn't make logical sense.
So,
And coming from a standpoint, if they want to preserve nature, we're not like doing that. That's not the place for a tree. There's a ton of places out here, but yeah, I just,
State planted the wrong trees.
Not grow into the sidewalk towards the houses, but just into the road, and then they have the problem because it's a state highway.
right.
Somehow or another, it won't be their problem, I can assure you. Okay.
So I will have more information after we walk the streets next week and see what they come up with.
Well, we walked, a month or two ago, and we came up with a whole list.
Yeah.
And so far, I haven't agreed with anything they said before, but we'll see.
You know when you're doing this?
The site walk next Monday. I'd have to get the time.
This coming Monday?
Yes.
Okay, let me know, please.
Okay.
I'll try to be there. Can't guarantee it, but I'll try.
Okay. So does anybody have any questions on the administrative report? Okay. All right, moving on to the Director of Public Works report. You have the water and wastewater data for the month of November in front of you. Staff participated in a tower climbing class and fall protection class. Our superintendent of wastewater passed his 5A state exam. Congratulations to Caleb Matthews for that. I'd like to thank Wayne Thomas and Thomas's Tree Farm for the Christmas tree donation in front of the museum. It's a very nice looking tree. On the water wastewater side, the PFAS project, we are currently reapplying for the revolving state grant to help offset possible increased construction costs. We replaced a fire hydrant on York Street, just below the carnival grounds, that was found to be defective during hydrant flushing. We're also looking at maybe putting that hydrant in the museum because it has a date on it of 1932, I think it is. So it's 90-some years old. So we want to see it at the museum once that hydrant. Talked about the wastewater treatment plant. We had a blower failure down at the plant. These blowers run continuously 24/7 to aerate the tanks to provide oxygen. They rotate through all three of them. So they get quite an amount of hours every year on them. They've had some repairs in the past, but this one has locked up and needs to be sent out for a major overhaul. We had an air compressor failure at the plant also, and this controls the wet well level. So we are going to change that over from a bubbler system to a transducer type level control system. This will eliminate the maintenance on air compressors, the electric to run the air compressors, and other costs associated with that. On Main Street, we installed a clean out for a sewer lateral. It was found that there was never one installed, we believe, during the streetscape project 20-plus years ago. This lateral contained roots from a bush at the resident's house. It was also a lot of 90s and other fittings in there. We couldn't go through the clean out the house for fear of getting our auger stuck. So we now have a clean out that's in our right of way that we can maintain. Moving on to the parks and facilities. The rehabilitation project is almost complete. There's a couple punch list items left. I saw Miller out there today cleaning out some valve boxes that got asphalt in them. We've received the new bleachers for the park that were damaged in the storm back in April. We haven't put them together or set them out yet, but we have received them, and I think that's the last of the equipment we were waiting on to replace that was damaged in Easter. We've had 2 winter events so far this season, and they were both salting operations only. And DPW has 1 action item this evening. So before we get to that, are there any questions on the DPW report?
I had some questions that I transferred in an email yesterday, and Matt answered those questions for me today, so we're good to go on that.
Okay. So nobody has any other questions. Moving on to the action item. The Water Department is requesting 15 more Guterman data loggers for leak detection. We have budgeted $25,000 this year for them. Total cost of this request is $19,957.50. And we also get a $200 rebate on turning in our older ones during this upgrade. So that helps offset some of that cost, which is not included in that number.
So we just voted on buying some of these not that long ago.
Correct.
Was that in the fiscal year 25 budget or for 26?
I think that was fiscal year '25.
Okay, so then I guess my question is, if we budgeted 25,000,
Mhm.
we have a bid for 19,957.50.
Mhm.
We're getting a rebate in the current for the 200, I'm assuming on each one?
Yes.
Okay, so we're getting a refund on those. Why wouldn't we look at purchasing a few more? Because this is something we continue to buy year after year. If we have budgeted 25,000, when you divide it out and subtract it out without the rebate or anything, we could potentially purchase another 3 3/4 more to hit that 25,000.
Yeah, I was just.
We're $279.50 away from buying a fourth one on top of that. That would get us to 19.
I was doing the math, and basically they
No,
cost
15 and four.
$1,330, yeah.
I'm sorry, you did, I had 1,330.50.
Yes.
So then that worked out that with those 15, we're 5,042.50 under budget. And I know we can turn around and use that money elsewhere, but we continue to buy them. If this is the rate they are right now, they're just gonna keep going up. We may not have that budget refund, that $200 rebate, or however it's worded. Why wouldn't we go closer to the budgeted amount of the 25,000?
How many more do
purchase
we
more.
need?
And that would give us, let's say,
18 or 19?
four more, which would give us a total of 50, because if I do the math correct, with the 31 that we currently have, plus the 15 is 46, plus the 4 would give us a total of 50 units.
And how many do we need?
I don't have an answer for that. I'd have to
Okay.
get back
Is
to
it
you.
just the
Okay.
more the better, and
Yeah,
based on
yeah,
like where
basically.
we can find leaks in our general pipes, and it'll,
Yeah, basically, the more you can saturate the area, the better
Yeah.
information you get back, because they triangulate the leak. So,
Is there a concern of where the difference was gonna go for some reason that we only were gonna buy this many? I'm just curious. Was it,
I can't answer that either. I don't know if they're just being conservative.
okay, I was just
And,
curious.
and,
Okay.
you know, and not spending the full
That's-
budgeted amount.
Yeah, I would be in favor of purchasing the 4 additional units to get us closer to the budgeted number of
We
$25,000.
only have to spend $280 more.
200, it would be 279.50, but if you turn around and get $200 back, we
Right.
land up being under
Right.
by a couple
Correct.
$100.
That's correct. That is correct.
And that would get us to 50.
and that prevents possibly more problems in our infrastructure and our pipes later on.
Could, yeah.
Make a
And
motion?
do you like the ones that we recently
Yeah,
purchased
They,
6 months ago?
I have not had a
Durable?
whole lot of experience on them. They say they like them. They say they work very well.
Make a motion to
Okay.
change it. I'm sure they're not gonna
All right,
disagree if
hold
we
on, I
purchase
gotta,
more.
let me figure it out. 13,
Or is the motion that we go back and get this requoted for 20,
If we buy more.
For
we can
19
get a
more.
better
for
rate.
19 of them?
And could we even get a better rate if we buy 19 or 20 instead of 15?
have to
Why don't we
ask,
table
yeah.
it till next month? It's not making a difference, correct?
That'd be correct.
All right, well, then do you want me to go ahead and make a motion that we return this and request a revised proposal for 19 to get us to a total of 50?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that,
Just say we're gonna table it for next month and make a motion to table
I
it.
think.
Okay, all right, then I'll make a motion to table it.
All right,
I'll second that.
All in
Okay.
favor?
Aye.
We'll table it till next month and we'll review it.
okay. So that completes the DPW report.
Okay. All right, thank you. Chief, police report?
Kelly, I'm going to keep my promise. It's going to be short and sweet. So for the month of November, we had two crimes. Both of them were domestic assaults. We had 0 Part 1s. We criminally charged 14 people across the board. One of the investigations involved number 1 North. We had a guy come in, he purchased about $2,300 in tequila. He tried a couple spots in Hampstead and throughout the county. Spencer got on it. It was his investigation. He tracked the guy down. He got criminal charges for him. The guy's out of New York. And what we think he was doing, they were coming down, they were stealing the tequila through fraudulent credit cards, and then I guess putting them on Facebook Marketplace and selling it. And it sounds like they were doing a lot, and he actually come back to number 1 North to try to do it again. But he is now caught and criminally charged, and I think there's other investigations throughout the county, maybe the state, that'll follow up. I think he's part of a bigger ring, because when the sergeant ran him, I think he was wanted up in New York, but we couldn't extradite him because it was a non-extraditable warrant for them. So that was a pretty good investigation. It was a late report. It actually happened in September, but Spencer got on it, put it together, and was able to ID the suspect. So that was good news.
Very good.
Citations, traffic continues to be the biggest issue in our town, and quite frankly, it's more our residents than anybody else. We got some unofficial bypasses like Long Lane. I don't know what the answer is at, because the traffic pattern is going to get worse along 30. Our sign alone proves that with, what was the last count on the cars?
52,000 last month.
So that's what's coming through town one way.
And
One
wasn't
way.
it 20-some several months ago?
Yeah, it's been high. It's been high since we put that sign down there. So I have no idea how we're going to stop that. You know, they get caught up on top of the hill, they make that turn down Beaver, they go down Long Lane, it's an unofficial bypass. I mean, that's bottom line. We experience all through town. They cut through Haley, they cut through Whispering Valley. We've seen it up along Manchester Farm, so it's everywhere. The officers are staying on top of it. Miller's Market's picked up again. I think we had, 3 serious crashes there? That's people just not paying attention. They're trying to make that left-hand turn, and
You just gotta turn right.
I know, they're coming into
Yeah.
town and they're
Just
getting
eat it
broadside.
and go around. It is
Yeah.
what it is.
So we've ran traffic initiatives down there, giving the tickets out, and it's just not, it's been a bad month. I don't know if it's a time change or what, but it's really picked up over the last.
They're there tonight, I saw them.
Yeah, well, we just had the one at Sheets. There was one right there at Sheets. They're trying, we're trying to stay on top of it. We got a lot of other stuff going on. We had 141 calls for service during the course of the month. And the biggest crimes, with the exception of that theft down there, has been assault, domestic related, and violation of protective orders. That's about it.
'Tis the season, I think, unfortunately.
Yep.
Seems to pick up around then, so,
At least we fell in the win, place, and show for the gingerbread.
that's right. Right. 3rd place, what more could we ask? Next year, we're going to be 1st.
Right.
Okay, thank you. All right, questions and comments from the community? I think the first person was Roger, right? Okay, you can come on up to the microphone and,
Okay. I guess you're gonna listen to the old man talk.
I'm going to listen. to
Anyway,
you.
I'm not a speaker, but I'm gonna say on 2 things. I own a property up here in back of the water tank. And I noticed the other day that, they surveyed 3 of my corners. What's going on?
Who had it surveyed?
The town, I guess.
I know Rodney was working with the county surveyor to find the property lines for Charlotte's Quest. Last I heard, they were missing a line that they were trying to locate, so that might be why some of his property corners got surveyed.
Well, what they did, your property around the water tank, I heard that you had it surveyed a little while back, okay? I had because I bought that 2 acres right there, and I had it surveyed twice. And the one pin was always there when I had mine surveyed, right? But you go up there now, and the county surveyor, I guess, he come in, excuse me, he come in, and I got a 20-foot right-of-way out there, coming out to the road. And you go back, I'm guessing now, 40 feet, and the old pin was like right here. The county surveyor come in and said, it's right there. Like, I'm saying 3 foot, might be a little less or something like that. So me and Vince was talking, I said, well, if that is, he tells me that's the corner, and the 3 down here ain't the corner, that's gonna throw all my property, because I wind up owning 26 acres back there. It's gonna throw all my property off by, let's say 3 foot. And then somebody went down there, and the reason why I noticed, they got these big orange ribbons. From the very corner, they took it down to halfway down to the hill and back of the tank, and they just put a ribbon there, okay? They run it down to the other corner, the far corner, and my fence line's been there since '59, I think we put the fence in, right? Now the damn thing is, here that door, this way, up on me. And then they shot it straight down to where all the water runs down through the pines and stuff like that on that corner, right? That's like 2 foot difference. So the moral story is, who's right?
That's a good question. Who, is it, who did the survey? Was it Heindel again, or do we know?
I know Rodney was working with the county surveyor. County actually has a surveyor on staff he was working with. I'll have to try and get a hold of him and see what the deal is there. I mean, he's a licensed professional surveyor, so any pins he set should be correct.
I had
but-
2 of them too.
Yeah,
And the pin was there
Right. How about
before
this?
that.
so I'll have to follow up on,
You'll speak with Rodney.
I'll speak with Rodney, get hold of the
After
surveyor.
meeting, you get his information, and
Yeah,
then
I know how to get hold of him.
we'll let you know after he talks to Rodney and see what we can find out, okay?
Yeah, I'll have to talk to the surveyor and see what's going on there.
Yeah, because there's 2 steel pins. The one I'm talking about was what's called mine. I mean,
yeah.
it's a steel, it's been, it's a steel rod. And it's buried now. You can see where he put his in, but you can't see where I put mine. Well, I put it in. I didn't put it in there. You know what I mean?
Yep, we will
So-
research that for you.
Yeah,
You know, because if that's true, because they said that you was gonna put a fence up around there to protect the.
yeah, at one point, there was a plan to
Well,
fence in the water
that's why
tank.
it all started at, and, I mean, what's, 3 foot say, but,
Well,
it and that's the case, it throws everything else off.
yeah, let us do some research, and we'll find out for sure what's going on,
Okay,
okay?
next thing, I stay lots of times down here at 50 Long Lane, there, the trailer, right where the stop sign is. Okay. I want to tell you all this, and you'll probably catch me going through that damn stop sign. I catch cops going through that stop sign, and I catch everybody going through that stop sign. But, a month and a half ago, I had my grandson in, and I was coming up by the liquor store, right? By the liquor store. And before Green put his fence up, he bought that house and he put a fence up. When you live there, you kind of look and you know where to look for the cars. So I turned in there by the liquor store, and there's the garage. But you could look down, you look down towards Sheets's, and Jesus, you can see 100 yards, 150, a long ways, right? So that building right there, so you look, you pull up, you still can't see nothing. If you could look down there, your front end would be sticking out 4 foot, okay? I looked, I come up, I stopped, I took off. When I looked, there was a red pickup truck 100 yards below me going that way, okay? I stopped, I took off, Here this guy comes in reverse now. No horn blowing, no sign blowing, no nothing. He backed up through that thing, let's say 20 mile an hour. And it might have been 30 mile an hour. He was flying. And I slammed on the brakes. I had my grandson in there, and it's a hard that it's, you know, the seatbelt jerked. He got to crying, you know, and stuff like that. Boy, it made me mad. Anyway, and I walked in there, and the guy went through the next stop sign. No blockers, no nothing.
In reverse.
You
In
said
reverse.
siren, it wasn't an emergency vehicle, right?
What?
You said no siren, it was not an emergency vehicle, correct?
The guy was an EMT going to a call. I don't give a goddamn who. If I'm
No,
done-
I was asking if it was a specific emergency vehicle.
Well,
You said
yeah,
no
but it
siren.
wasn't no mercy. It was
Okay, that's
his
what I was asking.
red pickup truck. I come in that trailer and I'm 80, but let me tell you, I was mad. I went to that goddamn fire department. Wasn't a damn soul in there. I waited and I waited and I waited. Finally, this skinny, blonde-headed woman come in, and I told her what happened. She said, well, you have to take it up with the chief. I said, where is that son of a bitch right now? I mean, I'm mad. So anyway, she said, I'll call him. He ain't available. I waited around there a little bit more. He ain't available. About the time here that guy come in, driving that red truck, I said to him, good thing I'm 80 and not 50. You'd be on the ground. That's how mad I was. And he said, well, I was going to an emergency call. I said, if I'm dying, don't back up the road to save me. I told him that. Right? Ain't no sense in that. Right. Ain't no sense in that. So in other words, and then he said, well, I'm sorry. You still see his red truck down there, so I think somebody should talk to him or do something. That's wrong. I don't care if you are a fireman. In fact, I think a quarter of the firemen are crazy anyway. We used to have a guy that lived down at Sheets's, and he'd come up at a goddamn alley 40 mile an hour, get to the fire whistle. Well, that's crazy. You run over kids. Shouldn't do that. Right?
Right. The first thing they teach you in that class is it's not your emergency.
Right. If he'd have turned around and come up there, either blown the horn or his blinkers on or something, he throwed in reverse and away he went. So he drives a red truck, don't know his name, he's kind of a stocky guy.
And it was his personal vehicle, not a marked vehicle?
No,
was
it's
a
his
personal
own
vehicle.
personal pickup truck, a red, because you see it sitting down there now. You know what I mean? So, and then, let's see, when you pull in there, I think you should put a sign up there saying no parking in alley. Because I tell you what, they're beer trucks, they'll pull up right there alongside instead of backing in, right? Okay, sometime they pull up and they're right against the curb. Well, you can get through. Some they pile up, and that's far away. It's been about, I don't know, I'm guessing now, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I come in the alley, and here it was a white truck, like a UPS truck, one of those big brown trucks. He couldn't get through because the guy was sitting there unloading his beer, right? So I don't know how many times you pull in there and you think, well, I gotta kind of go this way. And there's a guy in a black scooter. Now, it ain't as bad in the wintertime, but in the summertime, a guy's got a black scooter, one of these big scooters. And I've seen him come down through there. I don't know if that thing will do 25 or 30 mile an hour. And it did work at Sheets's. I hollered at him a couple of goddamn times. I mean, that's crazy. And just last week, Mary Palmer was coming in there, and it's hard to see now. They got the fence up there, you know. But if you come in there pretty often, that's how you kind of look. Anyway, come through there, and she had Rita in there, and she stopped, tried to pull out. Here comes, she said, 4 boys in a Honda, young boys, just went. Rita actually didn't have no seatbelt on. She hit the little bit of the what's-call. And as they went by, she said they went like that. So, you probably can't do it. But if you put up a sign there, I mean, if you put up a speed camera right there, you'd probably catch me doing it, probably catch you doing it. But you'd make a damn fortune, especially in the summertime.
Best part is the money doesn't go to us, we gotta send it to the state.
What?
Did you know that? We don't get money for speed tickets, correct, chief? We have to send it to the state. Did you know that?
I don't know, but let me tell you,
Not saying they shouldn't get tickets, I'm just saying,
I mean,
just for the record, we don't
because I
mention it.
live there. I mean, I live there. And I mean, I'd say you gotta have a dead stop. Well, by law, that's what you gotta have, right? You gotta come to a dead stop with a stop sign. If you trickle through the damn thing, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But go down through there 20 and 30 mile an hour, that ain't right.
You're right.
Roger, on both items, the first item, I'm associated with the fire service, and can you give me a time period of when this happened? Was it several weeks ago, 3
Oh,
weeks
it was
ago?
about-
You don't have to give me the exact date.
Well, I can't tell you that.
Right,
but
right.
I'm telling you about, well, it's still a little warm weather. I
Okay.
mean,
That's no problem.
2 months ago or
I will personally say something to the chief.
the guy's got a red Ford,
I marked-
a maroon.
A maroon.
A maroon Ford?
Maroon, red, big Ford truck.
Any stickers or labels or anything identifiable?
What?
Any like stickers or labels or anything identifiable?
Nothing,
Okay.
nothing.
Okay, I will personally say something to the chief about this. I marked that down.
And see, like everybody just, well, we're sorry. I mean, he apologized to me, but boy, I'm telling you, I was ready.
On the second item, on the beer delivery trucks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that those beer delivery trucks are not supposed to unload in Long Lane. I thought the stipulation was, when we gave approval to the liquor store, they had to deliver out front only.
I'm not sure. I was actually down there this afternoon, and I saw a delivery truck come in the alley, make the turn, and then have to back in.
That's something that we should track back with the zoning administrator on that. Because I thought that was a stipulation, that they had to unload out front.
With the new liquor store, you mean?
Yes, the new liquor store, yes.
Do we have a size
Put it
requirement, like
this way.
a size restriction on that road?
Wait,
Yes.
Weight or size restriction
we
that
do.
any kind of delivery truck or anything within reason?
Yeah, we do, and I think it's very generic. I think there's a list of like 5 roads in town that we allow over 10,000-pound vehicle gross weight rating. But pretty much the rest of the streets in town are limited less than 10,000
I mean, unless,
GVW.
obviously, if it's a delivery for a
Yeah,
moving van or
and we
something.
get that, yeah, but for the most part, that is kind of,
We'll definitely check into that, because for years they were pulling right out front.
Yes, correct. And I think that was part of the approval process, was they had to unload out front. And I think it makes it easy because they deliver at Spargo's and they cross over or go the other way and they deliver out back. So
Turn
we'll,
out along lane, like getting
Yes,
back on Main
correct.
Street. Yeah, I know what you're, yeah.
Yeah.
But I would think it would be easier to unload from the front into that liquor store, but I'm not sure.
yeah, I think that was one of the stipulations.
Like the actual unloading, the physical
Yeah.
unloading of it.
it must not.
I will follow up with our zoning administrator tomorrow.
It's like, I'm just gonna stay on
If they
this.
would even pull up, say, I mean, I was a truck and trailer driver for 36 years for Black & Decker. But anyway, if they'd actually pulled to the curve, say like a couple inches of the curve, especially in
have
that
to be-
short little alley, right?
It's gonna have to be a yes or a no.
Well,
Because if you tell them pull the curb,
you could,
that's never gonna
you
work.
could probably get by, I mean, that I used to get in places like that and you think, well, man, but I'll make it quick. I'll jump in here and
Right.
ain't nobody gonna do it, you know what I mean? And as far as the guy pulling in the alley, like a tractor and trailer, sometimes they bring in a big, like a 40-footer. Let me tell you, if you got a 32-footer or 20-footer, you can pull up the alley and back in there, right? If there ain't no cars there. But half the time, they got 7 or 8 cars, you know, apartments up there, and then they got 4 cars getting liquor, right? And the guy ain't got no choice, really. I mean, I'm complaining, and I'm also looking at, I was a tractor and trailer driver, you know what I mean?
Was it the guy buying the tequila?
Yeah, matter of fact, it was, with a little blue hat, yeah,
Roger?
that was him.
Can I ask you 2 questions, because we didn't have you do it when you got up there? Can I just have your last name and your number of Long Lane?
What, I'm sorry?
Your last name and the number of Long Lane. I just have to have her document.
3251,
Okay, what's your last name?
Forbes.
Okay,
Everybody knows old man Forbes, the junk man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm the junk man. They
remember
call
that.
me the junk man.
okay. Well, we're gonna address your issues, okay?
Picked up some-
Okay, well, that's it. I'd like to get an answer.
Okay, well.
I mean, you know, I might say, well, I heard they did this,
No,
or, you know.
you'll hear, and the survey situation, you're gonna be in touch with Matt after the meeting, and you guys figure, and
Yeah.
he'll
Okay.
have a number to contact you, okay?
Okay,
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Forbes, I will be in touch after I get some more information.
Yeah, after the meeting, I'll take your phone number down and pass this on to our chief of the fire department, and he'll probably be reaching out to you,
well,
so.
why lie? I mean, I ain't lying. I
Right,
mean, I'm just,
Exactly.
you know, because I'm too old to lie.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. Chad McKinnon and Kim Foreman, I think you're at the same address, but if you both wanna speak, you can? No? Okay. You're gonna be a
She's
spokesperson?
nominating you.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Hi again. I'm Chad McKinnon, 3259 Long Lane. What Roger said, I'm done. Thank you. No, you talk about the guy going for emergency call. Yesterday, seen the Manchester Police Department utility vehicle, stop sign was like invisible to him or something. Went to Sheets, come back, Long Lane, stop sign was invisible again, right there at the liquor store and all. So I don't know if, the fire department has a pass, you know, to ignore stop signs, you know, going to a fire call or actually in, you know, cause I ran with the fire department in Middletown and it's obvious it was a utility vehicle, you know, and this ain't the first time I've seen a utility vehicle go through the stop sign. And like I said, I've seen an ambulance go through that stop sign.
Yeah, non-emergency calls, right?
Yeah, it was non-emergency, didn't have no lights or nothing. I guess they
Well,
were
I have a
hungry
whole
and,
list for
They're not exempt, let's say.
No.
yeah, I
that's
guess they were
right.
hungry, had to get the sheets real quick instead, in case they got a call. But that, I was here in September, the September meeting. I gave it a few months. Now I'm here. I think you weren't here.
I wasn't here that one.
Yeah, but
Jen
you
was
said, cause most everybody knows Jameson. He's autistic man. He doesn't look both ways when he runs across the street. I was told y'all were gonna look into getting an autistic child, slow autistic child. Never happened. There's still no sign on the east side of Long Lane. I was meant to look it up before I came, but I thought that would possibly like a law or something. You know, if there's an autistic child, you should have like slow autistic child.
I don't think it's a law, I think that's something you can
Well,
put
it'd be
in for.
nice, cause like I said, I don't know if y'all waiting for Jameson to get hit. There's kids ride the bikes up and down, want them to get hit and killed. They'd be like, oh, maybe you might wanna do something. I brought up last time about speed bumps. Speed bumps are all over the place, even small towns like Burkittsville and Frederick County. I used to live there and they're like mini mountains. But the state highway snow plows, they can plow snow with speed bumps. Baltimore City, they got a speed bump. They plow snow, speed bumps. Well, I was told it's a inconvenience for Manchester when they plow. It's an inconvenience to them to have speed bumps. When you put a speed bump, you know, 2 poles, speed bump or hump ahead, whatever. Like I said, if they're not capable or competent to raise the blade and lower the blade, then let someone else plow the snow. There was something else. Looking at my fiance,
She's looking at you like,
she knows everything to me. So, Yeah, the teenagers, when school lets out. I know it's nothing against the police department. They sat out there a lot, but then, the power of the phone. Hey, watch out, Long Lane, there's Popo, and so then when they're sitting there, it's like, son of a bitch, ain't no cars flying through. And it's like 3 jacked up white trucks, same teenagers. I'll be honest with you, I was like, the whole neighborhood or everyone on that street went to scrap with them. Because we're just tired of it. Yeah, they're teenagers, but that doesn't give you the right to power, that's the other thing. They like to power lock their wheels right there at the stop sign. And you hear this burn out, and you look out, you just see this cloud of smoke and everything going into people's windows. Like I said, when kids get out, Long Lane is a racetrack for them. 2 days ago, I guess instead of speeding, they wanted to go slow. One kid was going like 2 miles an hour, had a line of cars behind him. Thought, I guess he'd be funny. All these horns are blowing. Long Lane is just an issue, and I know there's other issues in other neighborhoods and everything, but when when they're using Long Lane as a bypass for Main Street, even rush hour when people are getting off work, Long Lane's an issue. I mean, it's just people that live on that road is just getting tired. I've been trying for 6 years, well, 5.5 years, to get speed bumps, because nothing else ain't gonna work. Cops are doing all they can, and I appreciate that. But it's something else needs to be done. Put gates, and it only opens certain times of the day. And everybody lives on that street has a key card, to open up the gate.
He wants the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, that'd be nice too. Build a
Toll
Trump
booth.
wall on Long
Right.
Lane.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, it's a problem, and it's been 2 months, ain't crap been done. Not even just putting up a sign, autistic child, nothing.
Who does something with that?
So I know we talked at the meeting, and I don't think you were at that meeting, were you, Chief?
No.
And I think we said we were gonna follow up, because we had talked about, I have seen them in other places.
you all know, we did it up
In Hallie
Hallie
Hills, I
Hills.
believe.
What about
Somebody else.
speed, talk about y'all don't get the money, but speed cameras.
It is true, I was just messing with
So,
you. That is true.
yeah, there's some things we can do there.
Okay.
And quite frankly, the signage along Long Lane needs to be
Updated.
completely updated. There's stop sign issues, there's a couple issues there.
So as
We
we,
have to show some love to that, definitely in the spring.
as we get into our,
For the guys down.
as we start looking into next budget season and that kind of thing and those kind of things, maybe we can look into maybe some of those, the flashing stop signs
Like we did.
right there at the,
And it's gonna
Westminster
happen as
Street.
people go around, like you said, the amount of cars going through. I mean, from 3 to 6, it's a commuter town. Like, you cannot get from one side of town. Like, I work at Manchester Elementary, and I have to leave, and all the spaces are really tight, too. So, like, somebody could pop out of nowhere. It's really, like, to get from this side of town to the other side of 30 at times, you're like, you can't.
And then Burgantine just bought that property up over the line, so.
That building's gonna start, so it's gonna be a mess.
What's less down for people that are like my age and younger on a house, and they can pay as they go, and they probably can't save the money up as a lump sum to pay initially here, so
Right.
we can't.
That doesn't mean we want them running through here at 80 miles an
Oh,
hour.
I know, no,
I see
but it's,
Pennsylvania people, the
it's
Maryland
created,
people going through my
created a
neighborhood.
commuter town, they're all going through here, so it's like, oh, I'm gonna go around, I'm gonna go to Sheets, I'm gonna go through Long Lane, I'm hungry, I wanna get there, and it's
Yeah.
awful.
And the
Like,
other thing, even something basic, I've seen, like, where there's a stop sign, there's a white line there where the stop, there's none of that on East Long Lane, or West Long Lane,
I
I
think-
call it.
I think if we can look at, like you suggested, maybe the stop signs that we did at Westminster Street,
Crossroads.
that one.
Yep.
Because everybody was running right through that one all the time and several
Is
accidents.
that the one with the blinking lights?
Yes.
They'll just, some kid will be high and just stare at it and just stop there and just
Well-
stare at the pretty lights. It's
I
still
mean,
a stop
that's gonna be
sign.
no, I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't think, no matter what you do, you get a high kid there, I don't care if you have lumps, bumps, or whatever you have, they're gonna go through, you know what I mean? There's gonna be some that aren't gonna obey it, no matter
It's just
what.
frustrating, and nothing's
I
been
agree
done
with you.
in
I agree,
2,
it's
3 months.
frustrating. I have the same problem in my
When I
neighborhood.
brought it up.
Everybody here has, I know you have the same problem in your neighborhood, we have the same problem in our neighborhood. I mean, it's frustrating, I agree with you.
I live
Get
at the very
speed
end of
bumps in the
Overlook where they
neighborhood.
turn
That
around.
speed bump
It's like-
solves a lot of speeding issues and stuff, and plus people are avoiding Main Street, maybe, oh man, I don't wanna deal with them speed bumps or someone has a low ride or car too low. But I just think speed bumps will be the answer, and
and since you came in September, I have been looking at some of the other towns and some of the different things that I've been going through. And they've done some interesting things I wanted to talk when we start looking at planning ahead, because that is something, I mean, we have to budget for. It's not something we can go out and do immediately. There's some different approaches, like Tonytown has a couple different ones that I've noticed.
Yeah, they just.
That they've done through some of their neighborhoods just, I want to say, in the past year or so. And they're not aggressive, like real hard-hitting speed bumps. They're well-marked. They're more of like the plateau kind. I mean, I have to get a picture and show you, but they're well-marked, so you know going into them. And their snowplows would see the signs to know to pick them up. I know we looked at potentially doing temporary ones. We have gone through looking at some that we can put down that we could take up in the winter, which has its pros and cons and all kinds of things. But that may be something we're gonna have to
Better make a
seriously.
big budget ticket item, because
Well, if you give
every
the
neighborhood wants
residents,
them.
I mean, you could give the residents on that street like spike strips. So when they come back from Sheets, you know, we just kind of like.
They back up.
I mean, that'll solve the issue too when they gotta buy new tires. Then they'll slow them down, but that's all I got. Thank y'all.
You're welcome, thank you.
Could you put a camera in there, say, camera, photo taken, or?
Smile.
There's a whole process to that, and the biggest problem is for a small town, a lot of those companies, they want, Steve, what was it, 80% back? if you got-
85% of the.
And then if you didn't meet the quota, then you had to pay the difference, and
We put a fake one up there?
fake.
I've seen them before.
For recording purposes,
Speed camera ahead. Because, put it this way, I was going to the VA down there today. Anyway, and going down.
Roger.
Three there.
Roger, if you're gonna talk, you have to come up to the microphone.
Anyway, it used to be 70 mile an hour flying, and now it's 50, and let me tell you, they do.
Hey, you're like the speeders. I just said, if you're gonna talk, you have to come to the microphone. You coming up here?
It's like The Voice.
We agree, though. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Okay. All right, we're gonna start with committee, thank you all. We're gonna start with committee reports. Councilman Nazarod?
This is gonna, communicate with your neighbors if you have a party. We have police that have resources. I'd rather have them allocated here, and that way they're not called for these things. Communicate if you're gonna have a holiday party. Also keep track of your kids at night, because just where they're going, short and whatnot, even with it, when you're following the speed limit, there's some places that are tight. And honestly, like, just hearing you talk, I've shared the same frustration. The last thing we wanna do is see a kid get hit. Like, that's, I mean, just communicate within your neighborhoods. I know we can't solve everything right away, and we appreciate you communicating your needs here. Intergovernmental 2026 candidates are out, so you can also bring your issues to them, because the town ties into the state, as you can see with, like, putting up a camera where that money would go to the state. So that's something you can address with them as well, because the state covers a lot of the roads. So that's it. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that.
Thank you.
So.
Councilman Miller?
Yep, a few weeks ago, Councilman Pacelli and I met with staff and met with the engineer firm of GMB to discuss the PFAS project, and it was a very good meeting, and we made very good progress. As far as the budget, of course, the budget process will begin after the holidays. I'm sure Kelly will get a list of dates out to everyone on that. And I'd like to echo Councilman Nazarod's comment. Merry Christmas to everyone, staff and council and the community, and a happy and safe New Year. So that's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Councilman Miller?
All right, just to thank everyone who helped out with Black Friday or supported it in some way, participated, came out to the tree lighting, joined in the Santa stroll, entered a gingerbread house. We had several and none of ours placed, but that's okay. Our kids had fun, and there was frosting and sprinkles all over our house. Thank you to Manchester Elementary and the art teacher, Mrs. Smith, for taking care of getting decorations made for us. We're going to collect them at the end, take them back, and we're going to work on recycling all the ones that can be recycled, that make it through the storms and things that we have for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Pacelli?
The Black Friday tree lighting thing I thought was awesome. It was a big turnout considering the weather. The wind was terrible, it was cold, but it was very exciting to see so many people come out. Well, with regard to Parks and Recreation, I have nothing to report. I was unable to make the Charlotte's Quest meeting last night. I let them know I couldn't be there, so
Okay.
hopefully I'll have something next month.
Thank you. Emma? Our youth representative, Emma.
I'll try to make this brief because I know Councilwoman Miller, you want to get home and watch Frosty. Not sure if that's going to happen.
It's all right, it's a tradition, I have it on DVD.
We've got a fair few events for December. Winter sports have started up, so there's a lot of upcoming games. For example, boys basketball is playing Tuscarora tomorrow, starting at 5 o'clock at home. JV game starts at 5. Varsity game starts at 6:30. The Manchester Valley High School winter track team placed 8 out of 20 other schools at Hagerstown College in their most recent track meet on the 5th. Varsity soccer players Ben Phillips, Lino Collin, and Ryan Salito were selected to represent the school at the Carroll County All-County Soccer Team. And the all-county football players are Connor Stack, Colton Nunn, Walter Sully, and Ethan Atkinson. So that's like higher level, countywide sports. For theater, Embrace Movement, which is the school dance club, they're having their dance recital on the 19th at 5:30, which is next Friday. The Manchester Valley High School Drama Department is hosting their first ever gift wrapping fundraiser with A Manner of Time in Hampstead from 10 to 2 on Saturday. So come out, all of that money goes directly towards the drama department because we don't get funding from the school, so we fundraise all of it. Auditions next week are for Matilda, the spring musical, which will be held in April, so April 17th, 18th, 24th, and 25th, if you want to mark your calendars now. The Honors Theater production show, which they're doing Puffs, which is like a Harry Potter spin-off play. Those will be performed in January, so January 16th and 17th, and that's our most upcoming show. Academics-wise, the instrumental concert, so band and orchestra, is going to be this Friday at 7 o'clock. If you plan on attending, please bring a non-perishable food item to support the Tri-M Music Honor Society in their efforts. They're doing a food drive, and if you bring a non-perishable food item, you will be entered into a raffle to win a really nice gift basket. I would like to take a moment to congratulate senior Chelsea Martinez. She was selected to represent Manchester Valley High School in the Maryland All-State Choir, which is a very nice honor. And Manchester Valley High School is hosting Alumni Day on December 23rd, which is all of the previous Manchester Valley High School alums come back and give advice to the students. You can sign up, or we get to sign up for sessions, and we get to sit in, listen to their experiences in college and in the career to see like what we might be interested in. Stuff the stairs at the school. Those donations can be dropped off until the 11th, which is Thursday. And or if you can't provide a gift, unwrapped gifts, you can make a monetary donation through the My School Bucks app. So if you have a child, you should look at My School Bucks, donate some money so they can get some gifts for kids in need. The Manchester Valley High School Carson Scholarship nominees this year are Torin Farver, Derek Jamroz, and Ava Yingling. That's a prestigious $1,000 scholarship provided by the Ben Carson Foundation. Goes towards college. I'm actually a Carson scholar. I won a couple years ago. Just a little brag moment. Cookies with Cocoa with Santa being hosted by the National Honor Society and FBLA is next Friday, the 19th. It is $5 for students and children. All children must be accompanied by an adult. But Santa and Mrs. Claus are going to be there. There's going to be cookies, hot chocolate, just some fun little crafts to get into the holiday spirit. If you are interested in purchasing a ticket for that, I have a QR code you can scan after the meeting. And that is all I have tonight. Thank you so much. Happy
I
holidays.
have 2 questions for you.
Yes.
What happened with the voice competition?
Oh, okay. So The Voice was in November. Our 3 winners were in 3rd place. It was Hallie Weaver. I was the 2nd place winner.
I was going to ask you.
Yes, thank you. And then our 1st place winner was Destiny Kempa. She was amazing. She played the piano, accompanied herself. It was wonderful.
So you sing, correct?
I do sing.
Okay, so I'm putting in a bid right now for next Black Friday for you and your drama people that sing. Can we have you?
Yes, I can definitely talk to my vocal director, and I can get you in
Because I called
contact
this
with
year
her.
and I was told that they probably won't, nobody will do anything because it's too close to the holidays. But I forgot about asking you, and you said you sing, so. can
I
you-
do, I'm
would you
in,
Consider marking us down.
yes, I will make a
booking a
note
year
of
out.
I'm booking a year out.
Yeah, I will make a note of that. I will talk to my vocal director, and I'm sure Tri-M, we just got started up. I'm sure we can definitely come out for a service project. That's a great idea.
We'll give you hours.
Awesome. Yeah, I will definitely report back.
Okay, all right,
All right.
perfect. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Thanks, you too. Okay, our next town council meeting is Tuesday, January 13th. And I think that's it. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hopefully, everybody has a nice, safe, happy, and healthy holiday, and motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor, I know.
Aye.
Aye.